Hello Gunpla fans, welcome back to my channel. Now I'm Laguna and today I'm gonna do a very simple segment on how I usually do my water slide decaling. Now as some of you may have known, I have here a completed HG Origin Gundam FSD full-scale development. As you can see, they look really nice. I've panel-lined it. I've done the what do you call that? Silver panel lining on all these panels. I use up all the included stickers that comes with the kit. And I was thinking to myself, instead of doing the exact same thing with the other copy of FSD that I have, which I plan to turn into the Gundam Local type North American type, let me just try using the water decal that I got from a third party. Now, the water decals here, as you can see, this being a third party water decal, I believe Bandai themselves did not release any form of official water decal for the, FSD or the North American local type. So there you are. And I don't know if some of you may have noticed, the thing with third-party water decal is that sometimes it comes a bit yellow, like this one, the 01 here. This is a bit of sign of, water slide decal yellowing. And the same can be said kind of for this part. But I mean, generally, it's just a small matter. But bear in mind, those of you who water decal slide your kits and you did not top coat it, especially the white decals, after a few years, it will turn, yellowish. So bear that in mind and, make that as a motivation for you, after your hard work with your kids, you might as well go the extra step and just, top coat it all. So basically, what I usually need is basically like my hobby knife. I know it looks a bit, rusted, but the blade itself is still very sharp and very shiny. So there you go. You will definitely need a cotton bud to absorb the excess water. Half the time I'll be using this pincer, but most of the time I'll be relying on my long fingernails on my right hand, and you will see why later. And this is something that I really like, Mr. Mark Setter. It helps your water decal to stick better. I'm sure a lot of you may have experienced, your water slide decal can just go onto your kit just like that. But if you do not top coat it, after a while, it may just fly off. I experienced it a couple of times, and I found out that is when I started using this Mark Setter. Really helps the water decal to stick onto the kit, stick onto the smooth plastic. And in the case where you do not really like top coat it, it's still kind of okay, I guess. But I'm not too sure. As usual, please don't take any chances. You spend hours on your kit. Might as well just go all out, finish that final top coating stage, So what I'm going to do here, just a bit of sample of what I've done. As you can see, this third-party water decal there. Now this right arm, I use the sticker that comes with the kit itself. And for this left arm, I use the third-party water slide decal. Now, the thing with third-party things, accessories or, water decal is that sometimes the color may differ a little bit. As you can see, this one is of the darker orange. This one is of the lighter kind of orange. But from far, it's kind of okay, I guess. That's the chance you get with, third-party kits. Third-party accessories and stuff. But for me, at the end, it's kind of okay. Now, before I forgot, let me also mention that usually I would just stand by like a piece of tissue or a really good quality like toilet paper, just in case you need it to I don't know, wipe off, you know, some spills or even like some, you know, visible dust. Just give you a light wipe off the surface before you put on the water slide decal. Now I'm just gonna demo. I'm gonna put a piece of the water slide decal onto this shield right here. Now this is a very clear demo because after all, this is like a flat surface. You have the big piece of decal going on it. So I'm gonna use this piece here. Now you may have noticed that there's a bit of yellowing on the decal. Now that's another problem, you know, with the decals that comes, especially the white decals. Now, especially you can see there's another here, slight yellowing. And, you know, this is what happens with third-party decals or even, you know, Bandai ones. Never leave your decal exposed to the sun. This is why you see when I bought the decals, it comes with this thin layer of protective paper, I guess. And another thing was that, you know, especially for white color decals, if you stick it on and you leave it a couple of years, it may start to yellow due to the oxidization being exposed to lights. So the way to prevent it is to pretty much go the last step and just top coat your kits. You know, like I said, you spend hours on your kits, might as well go for the extra, you know, 10% effort, top coat it out, and your decals will pretty much would not yellow, you know. And, you know, okay, right now I'm just gonna use my hobby knife and just cut off the piece right here. You know, make your cut bold. Don't worry too much. Like, give it a bigger margin as well. So you don't accidentally cut through your decal, okay? Now we got it here. So this is how it looks like, one whole piece. Then you just dunk it. Oh yeah, before I forgot to mention also, yeah, you need like a small dish of water. And this is what I've done here. I dunk it into the water just to let you guys see. You can pretty much dunk it for like, you know, 10 to 20 seconds, no problem. And this is where I usually pick up the water slide decal from the water using this tweezer. Now be very careful with this. You will not want to, you know, tear it or anything. And by right, it should come off easy. Okay. If it doesn't come off, just re-dunk it in. Now, the most important thing is that you do not let your water decal get folded. Like, you know, because it's sticking. It's gonna be very sticky and it's very membrane-like. You will not want your nice piece to like fold over, like, you know, fold over like this. You're gonna have one hell of a time trying to get it straightened out. So, you know, might as well be careful with it, save you a lot of problems in a later time. Now, it seems to be ready. So what I do usually is I will apply this mark setter in the approximate area that I want to apply my water slide decal. Then you just take it out carefully. Okay, now let's see if this part will work. Okay, you see it slides right off, just beautiful. And you can just place it here. No problem. Now don't worry too much about the positioning initially, because you always have, you know, opportunities to slide it around and adjust before it hardens. And in the event that you feel like it has sort of hardened, dry out, you can always reapply some water to it. In this case, I will just reapply this mark setter, no problem. Make it a bit on the wet side, and then I'll, you know, some people like to use tweezers, but for me, I'm always fearful of the sharp edges that's gonna maybe tear it, so I prefer to use my nails. my long nails. Now this is why you see I have long nails. It's actually very useful. Like, you know, some of you may ask, why do I have long nails in the first place? It's just like a habit thing. I used to do a bit of like classical guitar. So yeah, as you can see, I think it's positioned quite okay. Let me just double check. Okay, maybe I should position this higher up a bit because there's gonna be another triangular decal there. When it looks like it's starting to be a bit hard to reposition, you just apply a bit more mark setter. Well, you don't have to worry about it. This mark setter is a really good investment. It will last you a hell long time. But yeah, some people will advise you to use like this cotton bud to move your decals around. I'm personally not a huge fan of it. Okay, yeah, because you know, depending on the type of the cotton bud that you use, you may get like those cotton bud bits all over. So I mainly just use it to dry off excess, you know, water or liquid. Like in a rolling out motion. Be very light with it. Like even if it's still slightly wet, it's okay. You don't have to make it totally dry. It will kind of dry on its own. You just make sure that the surface itself is, you know, all straightened out. Okay, you can squeeze out any, you know, air pockets, especially for big piece decals like this. You just kind of gently, very gently squeeze off those air pockets. Now maybe I should squeeze off some towards the side. Okay, now this looks pretty good. Now is it aligned? Seems to me the 1 and the 0. This one is pretty much straight up in the middle. So yeah, this to me looks good. Let me just make sure it zooms in clear. Yeah, this looks good. This looks great. So this is something I can live with. Just to kind of check. Yeah, this is okay. So yeah, let me just take another part and I'll see what I can do. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, there's another small piece of decal, the triangular decal below it. Let me just check with the manual. Yep, piece number 30. So by right, piece number 30 will be... Oh, I'm sorry. I must have gone off track. Okay. Like if you compare it to the original sticker, now I'm supposed to put this triangular piece down there. Okay, let me just cut off one piece. Okay, let me just cut off one small piece. Now, when you cut off small pieces like this off this piece of, you know, decal, just be careful. Like you can cut off a bit more, no problem. Just make sure you don't cut off more than what you need to. Now I just put this in here. Using this, I'll just dunk it down into the water. By right, it should sink. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, by right, it should sink down into the water. You know, to the bottom. Don't let it float around. Okay, you know, while you're at it, probably if you have got things figured out, you can pretty much, you know, cut out some other pieces here, prepare to dunk it in. When it seems like, okay, it's about time, I'll just gently take this piece out. Oops, as you can see, the decal started to slide off the paper. Now be very careful. Like I said, you do not want the decal to fold. Now that's like the worst thing that can happen ever. Now like I say, I'm more accustomed to using my fingers, my nails, less chance. When I use my tweezer, I've tore several decals, but it has never happened with, my fingers. So yeah, this is what I prefer. Not necessarily the best. At the end, it's pretty much whatever works for you. Okay, so you have that triangle thing down. Now it's just a matter of repositioning it. I would like to reposition it more towards here. Okay, sorry if that got a bit off camera. Let me just zoom it out. Then gently, I'll roll my cotton bud to get rid of excess moisture. And before I forgot, put a dab of mark setter. I mean, it can be done. I realize that it can be done after as well. There are many times when I actually forgot about it. And, just let it sip in through a bit. Then I'll wipe it off. No biggie. Just checking for alignment. Seems aligned. Yep. Seems very aligned. So there you go. This is just a short tutorial on water slide decal. Like I said, if you don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like everybody does that. Even me. So as long as you enjoy doing this, you just be careful. If you make mistake, remember you can reposition the decal by applying some drops of water or even some drops of the mark setter. But remember, the thing with mark setter is that once it kind of dries, it really, really sticks. So if it's still a bit off, then don't worry too much about it. Don't take the chance to spoil the decal. So, sometimes it's better to just let it be. You can experiment around whatever method that works best for you. But whatever it is, I will really appreciate if you guys can probably drop a comment. If you have better ways, better suggestion, or maybe you do things just differently, I would like to hear from you guys. So just drop it in the comment below. I'll definitely read it, and I'll looking forward to replying. So, before I end, as usual, stay cool, stay original, and especially in these COVID times, stay safe and stay passionate. Laguna out.